Yes, John. State of Iowa calls Dr. Drew Watson to the stand.
Very good.
I have a moment to prepare the law for examination.
Yes,
May I be seated?
you may.
May I proceed?
You may.
Would you please state your name and spell your last for the court?
My name is Dr. Drew Watson, W-A-T-S-O-N.
And what's your current occupation, Dr. Watson?
I am currently the director of the Russell Gedkin Cardiology Center at Drake University Hospital.
And what medical training did you receive, Doctor?
In 1996, I graduated from Tabard University with high distinction. That is also where I got my bachelor's degree. And 4 years later, I graduated from Drake University Medical School, where I received my medical doctorate.
Did you receive any additional training?
Yes. For the following 2 years, I was a resident in cardiology at Brigham and Women's Hospital at Boston, Massachusetts. And for the following year after that, I received some subspecialty fellowship training that was also at Brigham and Women's Hospital.
So, Doctor, what past employment positions have you held?
For 6 years, I was a professor of medicine and doctor of cardiology at Drake University at Drake University Hospital.
Now, Doctor, did you review any documents in preparation for your testimony today?
Yes, I reviewed the medical examiner's report over the death of Charlene Baskerville.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness for the purpose of entering proposed Exhibit 2? Let the record reflect I'm showing opposing counsel what has been previously marked as proposed Exhibit 2. Let the record reflect I'm now approaching the witness and handing in proposed Exhibit 2.
Thank you.
Doctor, could you identify this document for us?
Yes, this is the medical examiner's report over the death of Charlene Baskerville.
And who created this document?
Walker Hill, the medical examiner.
And when was this document made?
July 3rd, 2013.
Now, Doctor, how did you use this document?
I used this document to form the base of my medical opinion and medical diagnosis in this case.
Is this a fair and accurate copy of the medical examiner's report, Doctor?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, the state now moves to enter proposed Exhibit 2 into evidence.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
It'll be admitted.
Your Honor, may I post an enlargement of Exhibit 2?
Yes.
And may the witness have permission to stand down as to testify to the enlargement?
Yes.
All right, can Your Honor see it all right?
Yes.
So, Doctor, what did you first notice when you were initially reviewing this document?
I noticed that the deceased was a 57-year-old female who died of suspected myocardial infarction or a heart attack. And she had no visible signs of trauma, and in the paragraph below it states that she had no significant coronary arterial disease, or to put it simply, no problems with her heart.
Doctor, did anything else seem out of place?
Yes, it states that she had extremely elevated catecholamine levels. For example, her dopamine levels were 7.5 times the normal value. Her norepinephrine levels were 13.5 times the normal value. And her epinephrine levels were 34 times the normal value.
So, Doctor, what are catecholamines?
Catecholamines are neurotransmitters or chemical messengers that send messages throughout the body. They are more commonly known as hormones.
So, Doctor, how are these levels of catecholamine significant?
During stress cardiomyopathy, the victim's catecholamine levels rise to levels 7 to 34 times the normal value. In this case, the victim's catecholamine levels fall right between that range.
So, Doctor, was stress cardiomyopathy present?
Almost certainly. Her age and gender are consistent with this syndrome, and as I just previously stated, her catecholamine levels fall right between the typical range a stress cardiomyopathy victim would experience.
Thank you. Your Honor, may the witness be seated?
May.
So, Doctor, are you familiar with this stress cardiomyopathy?
Yes, I've seen more than 250 cases.
So, Doctor, what is stress cardiomyopathy?
Stress cardiomyopathy is when the natural protective mechanism, known as the fight or flight response, revs up the nervous system.
You mentioned the fight or flight response. What causes this to happen?
An extreme situation that could be life-threatening, or the victim could simply perceive it to be life-threatening.
So what happens when the fight or flight system is kicked in?
The victim's heart rate and blood flow are increased, their pupils are dilated, and their digestion is slowed.
So doctor, how do the catecholamines that you previously mentioned come into play?
During stress cardiomyopathy, the victim's catecholamine levels are greatly increased. When they reach the levels that they do, they become toxic to the heart and cause it to go into abnormal rhythms, which are not compatible with life.
And what do you mean by not compatible with life, doctor?
If you experience one of these abnormal heart rhythms, while stress cardiomyopathy is present within your body, and all the while you're going through an extreme fight or flight response, you will drop dead.
So doctor, what are these abnormal rhythms?
They are known as ventricular fibrillation.
And what is ventricular fibrillation?
Ventricular fibrillation is when the lower ventricles of the heart vibrate in ways that hamper the heart's ability to deliver blood throughout the body.
So is ventricular fibrillation common?
Yes, 75% of almost all cardiac deaths throughout the United States are caused by it.
So are all people affected equally by ventricular fibrillation?
No. Although healthy and unhealthy people are affected, women are much more affected than men, especially women that are postmenopausal.
Doctor, how old was Miss Baskerville at the time of her death?
It states in the medical examiner's report that she was 57 years old at the time of her death.
Thank you. So doctor, what causes stress cardiomyopathy to occur?
An extreme emotional response.
What kind of emotions, doctor?
It could be happiness, sadness, or fear.
So what was the fear or the emotion in this case, doctor?
We can say with a reasonable degree of medical certainty that it was fear.
So doctor, let's talk about fear then. Is it possible for fear to be fatal even when cardiomyopathy is absent?
Yes. Let's say you have a 50% blockage in one of your arteries. The adrenaline flowing through that artery breaks the plaque that's causing that blockage. That plaque, in turn, makes a blood clot, which makes a 100% blockage in that artery. Now you're in severe risk of a heart attack.
So doctor, what can fear do to your heart?
To put it simply, fear can stretch, break, and even rip your heart.
So doctor, to switch topics a little bit, besides human cardiomyopathy, has any other research been done in the field?
Yes, veterinarians have found something much like it called capture myopathy.
And what is capture myopathy, doctor?
It is when the captured wild animal is stuck in a small and enclosed space and feels trapped, and all the while they're going through an extreme fight or flight situation.
Can capture myopathy occur in humans, doctor?
Yes, it can definitely happen in the human body.
Your Honor, may I approach the bench to retrieve previously entered Exhibit 6?
Yes.
May I approach the witness with Exhibit 6?
Yes.
Here, doctor.
Thank you.
Doctor, could you remind us what this document is?
This is a diagram of an elevator.
This witness has no personal knowledge of this fake diagram.
Your Honor, may I respond?
You may.
We are not offering Dr. Watson's testimony on this fake elevator to prove what happened inside in the space, but rather to show that an elevator is a place where capture myopathy could occur, being an enclosed space.
I'll allow the testimony.
Doctor, could you remind us what this document is?
This is a diagram of an elevator.
Now, doctor, is an elevator a place where capture myopathy could occur?
Yes, if the doors are closed, the victim could definitely perceive it to be a small and enclosed space and feel trapped.
So do you believe that capture myopathy did occur in this elevator?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Your Honor, may I retrieve the evidence?
You may.
May I approach the bench?
You may.
So, doctor, you previously mentioned that you've seen many cases of stress cardiomyopathy.
Yes.
Could you give us some examples of these?
Well, not too long ago, I saw a case that involved a store clerk being held at gunpoint, and he dropped dead without a shot being fired.
Is this at all like Miss Baskerville's case?
Yes. In both cases, the victims had stress cardiomyopathy present within their body. They were stuck in a small and enclosed space and felt trapped, and they went through an extreme emotional response.
So, doctor, in your expert opinion, what do you believe caused the death of Charlene Baskerville?
In my professional opinion, to put it quite bluntly, the victim was scared to death.
Thank you. Your Honors, I have no further questions at this time.
Very good. Cross-examination?